Hey folks, my name is Richard Porter. I wanted to share with you real quickly one of my very favorite Slack features that I think you may really benefit from using also, Slack clips, especially the video clips. And I am starting this recording using a video and talking to you instead of just showing you the screen because I think it's really important to start with being able to talk to a person and show them your face and be able to convey a little bit of the emotion and the context behind what you're saying instead of just immediately putting a screen in front of them. But it's also super valuable to be able to show your screen, and Slack Clips makes that really, really easy instead of having to stitch it together the way that I'm going to have to do for this. So let me share my screen with you. All right, so here we are recording the screen, and immediately I'm going to show you, click down here on the video clip. This one next to it is audio clip. We're going to click the video clip. It's going to bring up my webcam, and now you can see me in addition to hearing me. But I'm still recording in QuickTime. I have not yet started recording in Slack. You'll notice in Slack when I'm recording there pretty clearly, you'll see that we have the option to share several of my different screens. I have one that's open that just helps with the lighting. That's on my upper monitor. I have a couple of tabs open. You've got Slack and also one of my browsers. As I mentioned, I like to start just with a video. So what I would do, there's a couple of others that are worth mentioning here. A couple other features. You can turn off the camera. You can mute yourself. You can do some effects, and you can even get specialized with your camera and your microphone. And I'm going to hit record. So it gives me this countdown warning to let me get ready. I say, hello, thank you so much for giving me the chance to chat with you about getting feedback on how to use Slack clips. It is recording both my video and also my audio at the same time. It's giving me a countdown timer. I like that it keeps me to 5 minutes. That helps me to be more concise and clear. I usually start with this video, like I mentioned before, because I think it's really important to let people engage with you as a person before you jump in and start showing them things. So then I'll start sharing my screen. I usually just choose show screen, and maybe I'm talking about, the navigation options of a WordPress site and saying, this could really be a little bit clearer in how we articulate what we expect people to click on next. Maybe I say I want this to be a nicer design for our logo instead of the one that this random product manager just made himself in Canva. Or if you're giving feedback to somebody about how they've portrayed themselves in LinkedIn. Or you can get deep into a PowerPoint deck or a Word document. There's all kinds of things you can use this for. And then I like to exit this by hitting stop sharing. Before I do that, I'm going to pause the recording of the Slack clip, which I've now done, but of course my QuickTime is still recording, so you can see this, but anybody who receives a Slack clip can't. And now I've resumed on both, and you'd be able to see what I'm discussing there again. I like to click stop sharing because I like to conclude by showing my face again and talking about what we've just talked about a little bit instead of just dropping it suddenly. You can also stitch together multiple videos if you end up needing to do that. So as I approach the end of this, I'm going to maximize my time with the video on so that you can see me instead of just going back to the QuickTime recording that only shows the screen. But when I conclude the next two things I want to show you before I close out the total recording and the complete video is I want to show how to upload a video that you've already recorded somewhere else, and that could potentially be a QuickTime recording like the one I'm doing now, or a Zoom recording that you've downloaded and you want to upload again into the context of Slack in a way that's very easy to understand. And I'm going to show how to do that as soon as I've concluded this. I'm also going to show you audio clips, and I find audio clips particularly handy for if I'm out at the park with my kids or I'm doing something else and I want to really quickly provide some information to people. And now I'm talking into my phone. It's very easy for me to do. And you're going to see this appear along with a transcription that Slack is going to generate for us, and it's going to make it very searchable. So we can find, if I say something very unique like Stuart Butterfield, it's going to be something we can search for at a later date. Now I conclude that and I send it, and you're going to see it appear here on the screen. And as we wait for it to generate that transcription, I'm going to show you the other thing I mentioned of uploading another video. And hopefully all of this will come together without being too long and without losing too much of the value and punch that it gets by being a little shorter. Here's the stop to this video. it gives me a little playback to make sure that I like it. I would encourage you to just send. Don't worry too much about making sure everything is perfect and that it works exactly the way you wanted it to. Just imagine this as your chance to grab the mic in a meeting and say your piece, and that your colleagues are going to give you a lot of license and understanding for what you need to tell them. So here we go to the upload, and I'm going to upload uh, not these two videos, but instead an introduction video that I did for another event. And here this gives me a review of that video. And instead I'm just going to hit done. I'm going to upload that also. You can see my connection is now working on it. And now let's go back and look at the transcript. And you can see it's generated a transcript. It's got that word that I threw in there. And if we go to Command F to search, and I put in Butterfield, and I can spell it correctly, look at that. It's found where I've said Butterfield in my little note to myself in the Slack clip. So things that this can be used for. I'm going to put the camera on one more time so that I'm not just talking to an empty screen. And I'm going to share with you that I find the best opportunities to use Slack clips to be things like giving feedback, like doing an asynchronous update so that you don't have to have a full meeting, and also to do introductions. So you might make a quick Slack clip to introduce to colleagues that have never met before and tell you what you value about each of them and why they would benefit from working together. You could also use it as outreach. So if you're like, hey, I really need a lot of people to come to my Slack AMA, you could make a quick video. And then you can send that as a direct message and an introduction to people and encourage them to come and join you for something that you need done, whether that's the Slack AMA I mentioned that I'm going to be a part of with the Slack community here, or whether that's something like, give me feedback on this product, come and engage on our product launch, or whatever else it may be that's particularly important to you. Now this video has gone longer than I'd originally hoped, and we're going to, when I stitch back in the part that I started with QuickTime, we're going to be hitting above the 5 minutes, but that's again an opportunity to show the value of being able to download and re-upload a video, and I'll be able to post that as a Slack clip if I want to. And I think I'll probably save it to YouTube so that it's available for even more people so that I can share it to folks that aren't necessarily in Slack. That's another option that can always be done with these video downloads. After you've uploaded it, you can always download it back again, or you can share it on to other people. So it makes all kinds of opportunities to make it very simple to share, including all the way to the manual effort of downloading, going to a new Slack workspace, and uploading it as a video. But then there's also this nice icon, and unfortunately, if I try to share my screen with Slack open, it looks kind of challenging if I force it to go back. So here we have a little bit of the infinite loop that happens, and you can see one of the anti-patterns that may not be the best in how you do this. But since I only have Slack running as a part of this, and I'm also doing it in QuickTime, I can also stop that and show you real quick how easy it is for me to share these clips to people that I've been engaging with before, like Elizabeth Kinsey, or I could type in a new name like Suzanne Joyella that I've been working with, or I can put a channel name in here like intros if this was an intro. It makes it very, very easy. And you can also easily download and re-upload again. Thank you so much for your time and attention and for the opportunity to show you through one of my favorite features in Slack. I hope this wasn't too long. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.